Welcome to CyberWar Television. My name is Torsten Toellner. We keep you up to date on what is happening in the cyber world and what new effective tools are viable to counter the new risks. Every 2 weeks we are on the air. Damage caused by attacks on IT infrastructure can threaten the existence of companies. Under criminal and civil law, it is reasonably clear that a perpetrator of cyber attacks is liable to prosecution and compensation for the damage. On the corporate side, however, it must also be clear to a managing director or board member that the company must be managed with the care of a prudent businessman. In many countries, the management board is therefore also required to take appropriate measures, in particular to introduce a monitoring system to ensure that developments that could jeopardize the continued existence of the company are identified at an early stage. The obligations arising from these regulations include compliance with the state of the art. Thus, in most countries of the world, companies must derive a clear safety strategy from a risk analysis. Management must also prepare for the individual case of a security-relevant incident as part of cybersecurity governance. This requires an emergency plan that should always be up to date, viable and known to all stakeholders in the company. This means that you, as a company, must not only an up-to-date risk analysis and a security strategy, but also an emergency plan with a check whether this is also effective in practice. In companies, cybersecurity is usually given too little attention. Historically, humans have learned to recognize and deal with risks like fire. Now it is necessary to transfer the step in the risk world from the analog world to the digital world. There are a few companies that offer their services. Most of them work professionally in terms of appearance, but like an amateur in terms of content. It always depends on whether the measure is effective. An example. There are many providers of awareness training, yet employees make mistakes by the dozen. Key stimuli and curiosity cause people to do something even though they know cognitively that it is wrong. This mental gap needs to be bridged. Few providers take this into account. Likewise, it must be taken into account that in an emergency, people show different decision-making behavior under stress than they do without stress. For this, the government of Luxembourg has created a great learning environment. I wish you a successful time and see you again in 2 weeks.